How's it going, YouTube? Today's video is going to be a video response to Anonymous Zero C on his response to the video entitled Facebook Parenting for the Troubled Teen. I watched your video and I'm kind of not understanding a couple of things here. First of all, your remark, your daughter's not your slave. First of all, I guess you didn't have to have chores when you were growing up. Did you not have to have chores when you were 16, 15 years old? I did. I'm 26 years old. I still live in my parents' house, and I still have things I have to do. The reason I live in my parents' house is because I'm trying to be able to make ends meet, trying to be able to make it economically feasible for me to move out of my parents' house. So yes, I still live at home. I still have things I have to do. I have to do laundry. I have to do dishes. I have to do all kinds of other things. Um, and that's just a part of living in your home and living under your parents' roof and under your parents' rules. Does it suck sometimes? Yeah, kinda does. But you know what? That's how it is. And like the original poster said, if you don't like it, you can move out. Um, Second of all, actions have consequences. When I was in high school as a freshman, I did the really stupid move of cursing at a kid who was messing with me, and that got me a phone call home. When I got home that day, I found my Xbox unplugged and sitting in the living room. Because, yeah, that's the reaction, and that's a perfectly normal reaction to some, you know, what happens when you're a kid and you do something wrong. You get privileges taken away. This has nothing to do with rural versus urban life, because I grew up in the suburbs of Chicago and the city of Chicago my entire life, and you know what? That's what happens. You know, I'm sorry you had such a horrible home life, but unfortunately, actions have consequences, and you know what? This was his personal property. He could go ahead and do whatever he wants with his personal property. Did the kid buy it? No. Kid didn't buy it. You know, with the example with my Xbox, that was a Christmas gift, and my parents still had every right to do that because it's their home, it's their property. I didn't buy it. So, you know what? Take that and take that as you will, but you know, like I said, actions have consequences. And to your remark about, oh, the kid's gonna do this and the kid's gonna do that, you know what? I was once whipped with a belt because I mouthed off to my parents. I'm not an angel. I've done my own fair share of, you know, I disrespected my parents too. And you know what? I I'm a clean person. I don't smoke. I don't do drugs. I've never done drugs. I rarely drink. I go to church. I'm very active in my church. I have a full-time job. If you seriously think that the kids that, have these reactions by their parents, if that's what they do, then you know what? You're mistaken. And that's all I've got to say about that, is you're really mistaken if you think that that's what's going to happen, because you know what? You know what? My sister and I had, you know, we had consequences for our actions. And you know what? My sister works a full-time job. She's an 8th grade teacher. She's married. She has a 2-year-old son. You know what? She's not, she doesn't smoke. She rarely drinks. You know, she doesn't do drugs. She doesn't touch drugs. She was president of her sorority in college. She was top 10 of her high school class. And as for me, I was a featured student at my community college graduation. I received a scholarship when I was in college. I got mainly good grades. I was in the top 50% of my I was in the top 50% of my high school. Um, got fairly good grades there. So you know what, you can take your little theory of, overreacting and shove it for all I care, because I'm sorry, I don't agree with you. I completely agree with the dad in this instance. We need more dads like him, because this is something my dad's always told me. Parents these days are afraid to discipline their kids because parents are afraid of the kids, and it should be the other way around. The kids should be afraid of the parents when they screw up, because that was what happened. And if I got a bad report in school and they called my parents when I was in grade school or whatever, I knew I was going to get it. And I wasn't going to get beaten or anything, but I was going to get yelled at, because that's what it was. It was yell first, ask questions later. And that's how it was. And I was more worried about my mom than I was my dad, because my mom was the one that had to deal with everything school related. And I'm not blaming my mom, because she did the best she could. And I'm not blaming this dad either. My sister's an 8th grade science teacher. She knows how hard it is to work with kids these days. Kids these days are just extremely disrespectful. They don't care. All they care about is themselves. You know what? When I was 18 years old, I got my first cell phone. I wasn't 16 when I got a cell phone. I wasn't 14. I was 18. Until I was 18, if I needed to use a computer, I used the family computer. It wasn't until I was 18 until I got my first computer, which I primarily used for school, which was a hand-me-down from my sister. And then, with a little bit of money on my end, I was able to build the computer that I'm using the webcam to speak to you right now. And as far as cameras and stuff go, I just bought my first camera of my very own that wasn't a gift yesterday. So basically, like I said, take your little theory and, take your little weenie psychology, and shove it, because I agree with this dad. Good shoot for the dad, because, actions have consequences, and it's his property. He can do whatever he wants with it. So that's all I got for now. Thanks for watching, everybody.